Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit that subscribe button, smash the like, share with a friend. Thank you very much. And coming off a thrilling, exhilarating, masterful wonder piece that was a 5-1 win over the New York Rangers on their home ice at Madison Square Garden in New York City, New York, your New Jersey Devils are headed home, looking to stay perfect in the month of December after that amazing 1-0 start against the Rangers. Looking to stay perfect in the month of December with a big 5-game homestand on tap at the Rock. And this is a massive opportunity, my friends. 5 consecutive home games at the Rock. It only happens one more time throughout the entire course of the season. Occurring at the end of the season, March 31st through April 13th is our only other 5-game homestand. These are pretty rare. 5 in a row at home. And our New Jersey Devils are coming home. Starting Friday for 5 in a row at the Rock, we look at the upcoming schedule. And Friday the 6th, hosting the Seattle Kraken in what should be a win. I mean, let's be real. That's a game you should win. You should win it. Seattle struggling. We'll come back and look at all the teams individually. But the 6th on Friday against the Kraken. The 8th Sunday against the Avalanche. Tuesday the 10th against the Maple Leafs. Ooh, that's going to be an exciting one. The 12th against the Kings and the 14th against the Hawks. So we start Friday and we just go every other, baby. Every other from Friday to Saturday. 5 straight games. Kraken, Avalanche, Maple Leafs, Kings, Hawks. And whew, this is going to be a very big opportunity for the boys. We look at where the Kraken are coming to town on Friday, where they are in the standings right now. The Kraken are 6th in the Pacific Division after 26 games, going 12-13-1 with 25 points, 6th place, and a points percentage of .481, less than half of the available points. Obviously, you do not need to be a mathematician to realize that is not very good, and this team is not very good. Again, on any given night, with the parity in the NHL, every team has good players. There's no gimme wins in this league. But on home ice against the Kraken, this is a game you should definitely win. And I'm looking for the New Jersey Devils to stay perfect in the month of December with a win over the Kraken. We look at their top scorers. Some familiar names here. You got McCann at the top with 23 points in 26 games played. And then Montour, defenseman, in second in the scoring there with 17 points through 25 games. You got Jaden Schwartz in third with 16 through 26, and the list goes on and on. Matty Beniers in the 7th slot with 13 points in 26 games. And you just look at the rest. Jordan Eberle, man, he's been in the league for a while now. 11 points through 17 for him. But, again, they have some good players. Looking for a big win at the Rock, and hopefully we do not give it to them. That is the first game of this 5-game homestand. I mean, 5 games at home in a row is just, it doesn't happen too often. It does not happen too often. And on Sunday, the Colorado Avalanche, and we look at the Colorado Avalanche, currently in 4th place with 28 points from a 14-12 record through 26 games, good for 28 points, and they're playing at a .538 points percentage. A little surprising in my opinion, but their division is absolutely loaded. I mean, wow. When it's all said and done, points-wise, the Central may be better than the Metro. When it's all said and done, it's going to be close because the Wild, Jets, Stars, Avs, these are good teams. That is another absolutely brutal division, but Billy Guerin's Minnesota Wild in the number 1 spot playing .760 hockey. And what a job Billy Guerin has done over the past couple years to get this team back on track. It kind of started off with his big moves of buying out former New Jersey Devil Zach Parise and his buddy Sutter. Wow, that was a big one for Guerin. Honestly, it kind of freed up some money. They had to eat that penalty for some years, and they're kind of starting to come out on the other side of that thing. In the Wild, they're just looking deadly. .760 hockey, but Avalanche in 4th place with .538, and again, I mean, they have some real studs. We look at their scoring here. And at the top, Nathan McKinnon with 39 points through 26 games. This guy's an absolute freak. In my opinion, a top 5 forward in the league for sure, and he's an absolute animal. I love watching Nathan McKinnon play. He's a special one for sure. Then you got Mikko Rantanen in the number 2 spot with 35 points through 26 games, 15 goals, 20 assists. Cale Makar, unbelievable defenseman, third on the team with 32 points from 8 goals, 24 assists in the 26 games. Casey Middlestad with 18 points. I mean, wow. They really are just, whew. Those are some dangerous players. And this is not going to be an easy game either. But again, Devils Avs. Sunday, game 2 of the homestand. Going to be an exciting one. I'm definitely going to try to get to, I would say, at least 2 of these games. I got to see my schedule. A lot of times it's a game time decision for me. Later in the afternoon I'll decide. But I definitely would like to get to at least 2 of these. But game 2, the Avs, another big one for the Devils. And then we go to game 3, a rematch from the home opener, which saw Sheldon Keefe's former club, the Toronto Maple Leafs, come to New Jersey and beat the Devils on our home opener 4-2. And this one they got to win for Keefe. This is a big one. Obviously, we look at the Leafs, first place in the Atlantic, going 16-7-2 through 25 games for 34 points, playing .680 hockey, and they're looking like they're a decent team once again. Regular season is a different animal, though, right? We saw under Keefe they had phenomenal regular seasons for years and years. Couldn't really get it done in the playoffs, but here they are again. First in the Atlantic, playing great hockey at .680. And we need to win this one for Keefe because we let him down in the home opener. We look at their top scorers. Mitch Marner, through 25 games, he has 9 goals and 27 assists for 36 points. Willie Nylander, second slot, through 25 games, played 16 goals, 11 assists for 27 points. JT, Mr. John Tavares in the third slot, he's played 24 games, and he has 11 and 11 for 22. And you see the list goes on and on. Austin Matthews missed some time with an injury. 16 games played for him, point-a-game guy with 8 and 8. Morgan Riley, shoosh. Pacioretty. Leafs are dangerous. What will happen when they get to the playoffs? That's another question. Will they finally get past the second round? We will see what they do under Craig Berube, but for whatever reason, I personally believe that their core is kind of cursed and that they're never going to get it done with those guys, with all of them, and they're going to need to do some sort of retooling, but we'll find out. But this is another big one. Big Eastern Conference matchup, Devils-Leafs, and they got to do it for Keefe. They really just underwhelming performance, honestly, in the home opener. A disappointing one. The pregame ceremonies and everything was really fun. The building was rocking, and they let Keefe down, unfortunately. They can't do it again. Cannot happen again. Tuesday the 10th, that's a big one. I'm sure Keefe really wants it. Hopefully the boys want it for him. I expect a war. Hopefully the boys come out flying and get Keefe this revenge victory on home ice. So important to be able to win on home ice, and in the past few years, it's really not been a kind place to this New Jersey Devils club. They've been much better on the road. The next one, game 4 of this little homestand here, is on the 12th, and we are hosting the LA Kings, another decent hockey club. We look at the Kings in the standings, and they are in second place in the Pacific through 26 games, played 15, 8, and 3 for 33 points for a very respectable .635 points percentage. In the second spot, Kings are not going to be a pushover either. Obviously, they have a lot of skill. We took a look at their leading scores. Anze Kopitar in the number 1 spot. This guy's been so good for so long. It's remarkable. 26 games played for him, 8 goals, 22 assists for 30 points. Kempe in the second spot, 26 games played for him as well, 12 and 12 for 24 points. And you see the list there. Another game that you're going to have to bring your A game. Be at your best. And another game that is there for the taking. And realistically, I've said in other videos, the Devils are capable, in my opinion, of winning or losing to any team on any night. We've beat the elite of the elite. We've lost to basement dwellers, even got shut out by them. So you never know what you're going to get. But if we see a New Jersey Devils club, and especially Jacob Markstrom, if we see that version of Jacob Markstrom and a decent outing by the forwards and defensemen, man, we're going to be a scary club. That Markstrom needs to show up a lot more often, because when that Markstrom shows up, we are a difficult team to beat. A difficult team to beat indeed. And then we go to, I don't want to say, again, it's hard for me not to get carried away because the Blackhawks are terrible. Let's be honest. Saturday the 14th, the Blackhawks come to town, and this is a game that you have to win. You just can't lose to these teams on home ice. It already happened with the Sharks. That one's a little tricky because it was the Blackwood revenge game, and, it still sucks, don't get me wrong, but if we lose to the Blackhawks on home ice, that'd be really pathetic. They're firmly in the 8th spot in the Central. Well, I guess not firmly. The Predators aren't much better, but in the 8th spot in the Central through 26 games played, 8 wins. Oof, that is brutal. Oh, I'm so glad we're out of the dark days that we went through not too long ago. But through 26 games for the Blackhawks, 8 wins, 16 losses, 2 overtime losses, 18 points with a points percentage of .346. Oh, oof. That's excruciatingly painful. My heart goes out to Blackhawks fans, but you guys did have your run. I mean, that Kane and Taves duo for all those years and those cups, you guys had your run, and now you're gonna feel the downside of that. This rebuild is starting around Connor Bedard, obviously a generational talent. So I don't feel that bad for you guys, honestly, Blackhawks fans. You're gonna have to go through a few shit years, but you had your beautiful days in the sun with Kane and Taves and all the supplementary pieces that they kept bringing in over the years, the Hoses and veterans that came through to firm up the roster on those cup runs. But they'll be back soon enough. I do believe that. Bedard is pretty good, and with a couple right moves and some decent drafts, they might be able to come out of the darkness pretty soon. But in 8th place, 18 points at .346 points percentage. The Devils have to take care of business on home ice. There's no excuse. We look at their scoring. Connor Bedard, the Phenom, 26 games played, 5 goals, only 14 assists for 19 points. Donato with 24 games played, 10 goals, 5 assists, 15 points. Teravainen in 3rd with only 12 points. Oof, your 3rd place scorer has 12 points. I mean, that's kind of, for the most part, that pretty much tells you all you need to know. I mean, wow. It's gonna be a rough couple of years for the Hawks. It really is. But Bedard is solid. They got some other decent complementary pieces. You guys had your run, and now it's it's the rebuild time. And that wraps up this 5-game homestand for the New Jersey Devils. They will play 5 games in 9 nights at Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. Gotta protect home ice. It is crucial to have a home ice advantage. It starts with us in the stands. I've said this before. The building needs to be loud. It needs to be rowdy. The other teams need to feel it. We got to get loud on penalty kills during the crunch times of the game, the appropriate times. They just got to be loud and rowdy. The other teams need to be somewhat intimidated coming into the Rock. I don't know that effect has really been there consistently for a while, but hopefully as the season goes on and the games become more important, the fans kind of up their performance, if you will, when it matters most. But we have to make it hard for other teams to play in our barn. Big opportunity here. Like I said, 5 games. The bare minimum here through these 5 games is you have to get at least 6 points. That's like we're not ecstatic about it, but it's acceptable. That's like the passing grade. A passing grade is if you go 3-2 and get 6 points. That's the lowest passing grade. Anything less than that is a colossal fail. It's almost pass-fail at that point. Yeah, 5 is a fail, 6 is a pass. 7 points is very good. If we went 3-1-1 in the 5 games, playing 700 hockey there, that's 7 points out of 10, I'd be pretty happy with 7 points out of 10. 700 hockey is very good. That's above what we're doing right now. And so we're not only keeping pace, we're increasing it a little bit. But 8 points is the target or ideal. Going 4-1, that should be the goal. 8 out of 10 points, 800 hockey in a 5-game homestand that'd be beautiful. 8 points is beautiful. And then obviously anything more than that is, icing on the cake. If we went 4-0-1, and had 9 points, that'd be obviously you light off fireworks. And then obviously if you're being super, you can never predict this. 5-0 is, what else is there to say? 5-0, you sweep a homestand. But to predict that would be unrealistic. I'm thinking the boys are going to end up with 7 or 8 points here. I really do. I think they're going to buckle down. The Kraken you got to beat up on. You got to beat up on the Hawks. That's 2 right there. And then the middle 3 games are the toughest ones, on paper at least. Avs, Leafs, Kings. If you could win two of those 3, and those the first and last ones, which should be the easiest, Kraken and Hawks, you got to beat up on them and then find a way to win 2 out of the middle 3. Those are the toughest games. Avs, Leafs, Kings. If you could find a way to do that, 4-1 would be amazing. I'm happy with the 7 points. 7 points, like I said, that's something to be happy about, and anything more than that is great. 8 is wow, 9 is oh my god, and 10 is, people are going to lose their minds if we swept the homestand. But I think 7 or 8 is where they will fall. In my truest prediction, I think they will get 7 or 8 points, and that'd be very good. To play 700 or 800 hockey over a homestand is phenomenal. They should close the gap with a strong kind of outing like that. They should close the gap with the Caps and Canes, and they've been giving us some help as of late, losing some games and letting us catch ground. We look at the current standings, and your New Jersey Devils, as far as points percentage go, are still in third, but it's getting a little tighter. Your New Jersey Devils are in third as far as points percentage go. Because of the extra games we've played, I don't care the actual standings at the moment. Devils with 643 points percentage, right on the heels of the Hurricanes, who have the second best points percentage in the division at 660, and then those Caps are still over 700 with 720. These guys got to cool off. I mean, people have been calling for it for weeks, but it doesn't seem like it's happening. And they're doing a lot of this these last couple weeks without Ovechkin. I mean, it is phenomenal. They're going to be a playoff team for sure, and maybe we'll cross paths. I mean, that's a pretty close drive as far as away playoff games go. But Devils looking to creep into that number 2 spot right on the heels of the Canes with a strong stretch here in this homestand. It could happen. I'm curious. Let me know your predictions for the boys in this stretch. I'm going to go my official prediction. I'm going to go 3-1-1 for 7 points, which I'd be happy with. Obviously, I'm hoping they go 4-1 or 5-0, but my prediction 3-1-1, 7 points out of 10, increasing our points percentage by a little bit. We're currently at 643. If we could play 700 hockey for that stretch of 5 games, that would be great. A couple which should be easy games in there, and then a few that are not so easy. But home ice, got to improve, got to be better at the Rock. Jesper, Bratt, and Jack have just continued to torment opposition in the last week or so, both on fire, just racking up points left and right. Hopefully they could keep it going. I'm curious to see if we're going to use the same fourth line we used against the Rangers with the 2 new Utica call-ups and Mike Hardman and Nathan Legary playing with Dowling, a full Utica Comets line as the fourth line. We'll see. Maybe, they played admirably in that Rangers game. They generated some chances. They kind of had some buzz going for stretches of the game. And why not? Roll them out and see again. I'm also curious during this 5-game homestand if we will see the toughest man in the National, my man and yours, Curtis McDermott. Will he be deployed in any of these games? I'd like to see him get at least a couple, but maybe they're moving away from it. I don't really know. I really wanted to see him in that Rangers game, but it's hard to complain about it after the fact when we dust them 5-1 and take their souls on their home ice. But let me know your predictions for this 5-game stretch in the comments. I'm curious to see what you guys think. I'm officially going with 3-1-1 for 7 points. Anything, everything Devils hockey, throw it out there in the comments. Yesterday, the 4 Nations face-off rosters were finalized. Check out that video on the channel if you haven't seen that yet. I did a video about the Devils in the tournament. We have 4 guys in there. It should be pretty fun to watch. I'm super jacked for that. As you know, I love the International Best on Best tournament. And yeah, I'm pumped for this homestand. I'm going to make it to, I would believe, at least 2 of the games during the 5. I just got to figure out which 2, but, I'll be poking around, getting you guys some cool videos and things of that nature, and hopefully witnessing New Jersey Devils wins. I mean, the last game I went to was the Predators game, which obviously game of the season so far, and it might be hard to top that. The captain's first hat trick, a natural hattie. Whew. That might end up being the best game of the season when it's all said and done. But throw it all out there in the comments. Anything, everything. I enjoy talking to all of you. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. I'll be back soon. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go